Hey guys, welcome back. It's that wonderful time of year again. Inktober is right around the corner, and I hope that you're as excited for the challenge as I am this year. This will officially mark a year since I've started sharing my work with you guys on YouTube, and I'm really excited about everything that I'm kind of planning for this Inktober. As we're nearing the end of September, I want to go ahead and share with you how I'm preparing, what my tools are going to be for this year, and just a few tips and advice for how to get through the challenge. So for those of you who don't know, Inktober is a month-long drawing challenge started by artist Jake Parker, where you do one ink drawing every day for the full 31 days of October. The official Inktober Instagram and website posts new prompt lists every year to help inspire your ideas throughout the month, but you're also welcome to create your own prompt list or find a different one that you like to use, or you can just draw whatever comes to mind. The main point is to build some new habits, strengthen your skills, and have fun. This is the section where we cut in all of the conversation about what tools I'll be using for this year's Inktober. So to kick things off, let's go over all the tools I'll be using for Inktober. Here I have my pen case where I keep my fine liners and other pens. Obviously I have my Sakura Pigma Micron pens that I have organized from smallest to thickest line weight, and these are just my go-to fine liners. I haven't honestly experimented too much with other brands yet, but I'm hoping to in the future. I also grabbed a couple of red pens in the Pigma line, one in the 005 size and one in a brush tip. I also have my Pentel pocket brush pen here. That's an all-time fave. Also by the Sakura brand, I have the Pigma Sensei in size 0.4 millimeters, as well as the Sakura GellyRoll pen in size 08. And then in my everyday pencil case, I have my Sakura brand Sumo Grip mechanical pencil in size 0.5 and my mechanical eraser as well. And I also like to keep 3 extra 005 Micron pens in here because it's the pen that I use the absolute most. Moving into my well inks, as you all know, Dr.Ph.Martin's is my favorite brand of ink, so obviously I had to grab a couple of new bottles for Inktober. I got the Bombay India ink in red and bright red. I also grabbed this bottle of pen white ink. It's very opaque and I'm looking forward to using this for some details. And then I have my trusted Black Star HiCarb black ink. I also decided to grab this Frisket mask liquid. I've used other brands of Frisket before, but I haven't tried the Dr.Ph.Martin's one yet, so I wanted to give that a shot this month. And lastly, by Dr.Ph.Martin's, I grabbed this Bombay pen cleaner just to make sure that my paintbrushes and my nibs are going to stay nice and clean throughout the month so we don't have any bleeding issues. With that in mind, I will also be using my Speedball standard pen holder as well as my assorted nibs. And I also grabbed another one of these Dinky Dip Sets, which have been really useful for holding my inks securely while I work. Moving on to my brushes, I'm sure you recognize my Windsor Cotman series brushes. These have been my favorite brushes to use with inks. I purchased these for Inktober last year, and as you can see, they have held up pretty impressively considering how frequently they're used. I also have this simple glass jar to hold water, as well as this plastic syringe that I'll be using to transfer washes into my new Pentel Aquash brush pen. I've actually never used one of these before, but I wanted to give it a shot this month since I've gotten more acclimated to working with brush tips. I got this one in a fine tip and I'm going to be using it for some grayscale in my pieces this month. And with that, I also got my first Japanese Pentel brush pen in black. I actually went ahead and tested this out and I'm already obsessed with it. I got this one in a fine tip as well and I'm really excited to work with it. Next, I have a 6-inch metal cork back ruler, as well as this gorgeous yellow Scotch brand washi tape. And then a couple of more new things to try out. I grabbed these Sakura brand Permapak pigment markers, and I just got those in black and white. And then last but certainly not least, I have my Moleskine watercolor sketchbook that I'll be using as my Inktober sketchbook this year. I'm really excited to try out their watercolor paper for the first time. The pages look nice and thick, so I'm pretty sure they're going to hold up very well with the ink. And I like that they're not completely smooth, but they're also not overly textured. I think it's going to bring a nice quality to the pieces this month. So now moving on to how I'm personally prepping for the month. I like to give myself some guidelines for Inktober just so that I don't get too overwhelmed throughout the month and I have a little bit of structure to help keep all of my pieces cohesive. So one of the main things I like to do is pick a color scheme. Last year my color scheme was purple, orange, and green because they're sort of traditional Halloween colors along with my usual black inks. But this year I decided to only use black, grays, whites, and red. Another thing that I like to do and that I strongly recommend you guys do is go on Instagram and just look up the hashtag Inktober 2018 and pick out some prompt lists that make you feel inspired. You can just save them to your Instagram collections and go back to them for future reference. But there might be days where a prompt on the official list isn't doing it for you. It's not giving you the inspiration you need. So having those other prompt lists there is super helpful to help get you out of creative blocks. Going along with the prompt list, I also strongly recommend that you do a little look over of the prompt list that you choose and just sketch out some ideas. It's really helpful when you just do a few thumbnails just to get ahead of yourself going into the month, because it's hard coming up with an imaginative or creative idea every single day for 31 days. So having a few thumbnail sketches already prepped can really help stimulate your creativity and maybe just cut you a little slack if you're having a harder day coming up with an idea. Another thing I decided to do this month in order to prepare for Inktober is to honestly just take a break. I did have a commission that I worked on this month, but besides that, I've basically just been doing reference sketching in order to prepare for Inktober. I've been just using some photos that I find on Pinterest or using the Line of Action website just to help sharpen my imagination and keep my hand moving. But besides that, I haven't been taking on any other projects or focusing my attention on finishing any projects for myself. I guess you can say it's sort of like storing all of my creative juices for October. Another thing I like to do is set a few goals for myself. So for example, I want to make sure that I have a process video every week, and I also want to try to stay at least one day ahead of myself just in case I have an off day, and also so that I can make sure that on the more detailed pieces that I'm going to do for my speed paintings, that I can invest more time and more energy into them. Another strong recommendation for preparing for Inktober: please give your hand some extra love and care, because Inktober is really hard on your hands. Give it a little extra love and care. Go get a manicure, get a hand massage, do some extra stretching, maybe invest in a wrist brace for the month. Anything that you can do to help keep your hands as healthy and unstrained as possible. It's a tough month on your hands, guys, and you need to be aware and conscious about letting it rest and not pushing yourself too hard. Just a few other pieces of advice for you guys getting through the Inktober challenge. Please take care of your mental and physical health as best as you can throughout the month. I think that these challenges are wonderful for artists for building new skills and strengthening the ones that they already have, and Inktober has always been a very positive experience for me, but I do notice that a lot of people seem to get really stressed out by it, and this is a challenge, but it's not meant to be a source of stress. So please take care of yourself. If you need to take a day off and you miss a day, so be it. You're not less of an artist and you're not less accomplished just because you've missed a single day, and you're always welcome to catch up if you want to. But it's really important that you're not too hard on yourself. Just make sure you're giving yourself credit for all of the effort that you put towards this. This is an amazing opportunity to be a part of the art community at large, which is the thing that I love most about these monthly challenges that come up, and about Inktober specifically. And make sure that your physical health is also at its best. Make sure that you're drinking enough water and you're taking breaks and you're stretching and you're sitting with good posture and all of those things. Because if your body and your mind is healthy, then your artwork is going to benefit from that. Well guys, I hope you found this video helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you have any questions or any Inktober tips of your own, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. You guys decided that you wanted weekly speed painting videos with the sketchbook tour at the end of the month, so that's how we're going to do October. I hope you're looking forward to that as much as I am. Thanks again for watching, guys. See ya!